how would you like to make your first million? And today we have Jon Morris with us, and he's the founder and CEO of Ramsey Innovation, DBA Fiscal Advocate. He previously grew his first company, Rise Interactive, from 10K to nearly 40 million in revenue. Wow, before existing. Today, through Ramsey Innovation, Jon helps service-based businesses owners escape profitability with finance first strategies and currently developing Engine BI, a business intelligence platform that empowers CEOs to make smarter data-driven decisions. So this is right in your backyard, John. What are the five
Yep.
steps that you can share with entrepreneurs how they can make the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Yep. So first thing it starts with is you have to have a world-class product. Or let me rephrase that. You have to be in the pursuit of a world-class product. So whatever you're selling, there has to be demand for it. I typically like it to be what I call as MRR, so monthly recurring revenue. So if you're trying to get to $1 million and you're selling project-based work, once that project's done, you got to go get the next project. But if you have recurring revenue, then you can compound and build upon that. The second thing, or actually that's the third thing. So the first thing is this pursuit of a world-class product. The second one is monthly recurring revenue. The third is that your number one sales goal is never lose a client due to performance. You're going to lose clients. One might go out of business. One might sell. One might, shift in a completely different direction. But if they're continuing to buy your service, you don't want to screw up to the point that they go leave for somebody else. So that's the next one. After that, you have to build a sales and marketing infrastructure. So if you can't get the phone to ring, it doesn't matter how good your product or service is, you're going to have a really hard time getting to $1 million. So you have to constantly be thinking about what percent of your revenue do you spend on sales and marketing, and how are you spending more in sales and marketing. And then the last one I would just say is this whole idea of this pursuit of world class means that you need to continually innovate. So if you think about, let's just say you work on a calendar year and it starts January 1, it ends December 31st. How do you ensure that the service or product that you offer is better at the end of the year than it was at the beginning of the year? And if you do those five things, you're definitely going to be on the path to $1 million.
Wow, never lose a client because of performance. What a powerful statement, John. And we talk a lot with startup founders, and sometimes the first client comes and the first client wants the service in a certain way. It's the first client, right?
Yeah.
And you are starting out, so your even your product is not reshaped yet. And then the first client come and said, "Look, if you do it like this and a little bit, I'm happy to pay you, right?" And I see again and again those startups founders said, "No, this is our product. This is what it is. If you want something else, you need to go and find another company, or you do it yourself, but we only gonna do this because we're a small company, we're starting out." And so rather than the startup company adapt a little bit more to the client, they want
Mhm.
that the first client adapt to them. And of course they lost the business due to performance, and after they realized that this was the only client that was willing to pay the money.
Yeah.
So can you expand a little bit more, because I think it's really important what you just stretched, um, and
Yeah. So
how performance can have a very huge impact in order to the client acquisition process, especially when you are starting.
So, first of all, my expertise is really in service-based companies. So if you sell time for a living, whether you're a law firm, an architect, an engineer, a software development company, a landscaper, the idea is that you're selling time. And there are really only two elements to the experience or the results. So the first one is you want to deliver a remarkable experience. What that means is your response time is amazing. You're really pleasant to deal with. You talk nicely to the customers and they enjoy being around you. And your attention to detail is great. All the things that go towards, building a great experience. And then the second one are the results, what they actually hired you for. And in my opinion, you need both. If the experience is amazing, they're like, wow, I really love working with them. The results are awful, but God, they're enjoyable to work with. You're probably going to get fired because the results are awful. And then on the reverse side, wow, the results are amazing, but they are such a pain in the butt to meet with. They don't get back to me, they, just are rude when every time I talk to them, they feel like, we need them and therefore they don't need to treat us nicely. You're probably going to get fired in that scenario as well. So in order to really deliver an amazing experience or to achieve, the performance level that you want, you need both. And what you then need to think about is, okay, well, if I want to improve the experience and I want to improve the results, well, then you got to budget for it. So, I help service-based companies manage their finances and do strategic planning. And I explained that it can't be a goal unless you budget for it. So how are you going to budget and what are you going to do in a 90-day period? What are you going to do in an annual period to make the experience better? And what are you going to do to make the results better?
Yeah, you're talking about experience and John, and also sales and marketing. There is a debate that I always stress in this podcast, right? Which is there are a lot of companies out there that they take most of the money, most of the time, resources, energy to bring strangers, to bring new clients, and those actual clients that already bought from them, right? That they had the relationship, they don't spend any
Uh-huh.
money, any time building that relationship, or they deliver a poor experience after the client bought because who cares? I
Yeah.
already got paid, so who care about the experience of the client? So you give poor experience to the client, and that's it. It doesn't matter. I will get new ones, and then I put all the money, time, and effort. Yeah, there are other people, right, that they do completely the opposite. They bring this stranger, but when this stranger comes to the business, they deliver an amazing customer experience, and somehow this person keep buying again and again and again, but also
Yeah.
bringing you friends, introducing you people that where your cost of acquisition is zero. So if I give you $100, this is a metaphor, John. If I give you
Yeah.
$100, yeah, how would you uh, use this budget in terms of you have how much out of this $100 you will take to acquire new clients and bring strangers to your business, and how much of this $100 you will use to develop the relationship with clients, to enhance, to make sure they have a good experience, so you can bring
Yeah.
people to your
More.
business that actually not strangers because they already come preferred. So
So,
how would
so,
you manage this with this budget? It,
so it's a great question. So you're saying if I have $100 and
Mhm.
I could only invest it in either maintaining my existing clients or, winning new
Or a mix of
clients.
both. You can tell me, Harry, I will do 50-50. I
Exactly.
will
Yep.
do. So how would you
I
do it?
would probably do 75 towards my existing customers, 25 towards my new customers.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
uh,
And
so
look,
why
this is
everybody does otherwise then, John?
because they assume
80%
that
with the
once
people
they
that
win
we
them,
see there, I don't know if maybe you disagree with me. You can tell me, Harry, this is not the case. But every thing, every company, everybody that I see out there, I see again and again 80, 90% of the budget, probably 100% of the budget. Just, okay, sales, marketing, let's do advertising, let's bring more clients. We need more clients, we need more clients. And nobody cares about the customer experience and nobody cares about knowing that if you deliver an amazing experience to those clients, you can you can bring your
Yeah.
client acquisition from zero, right?
Well, okay, I think it's a couple things. I think one is who are you? Who are you, and what do you want your brand to be? So I can tell you this: 97% of the time, I'm making that percentage up, but really high percentage of the time, the sales experience is better than what you actually bought. Right? It's a fairly rare scenario where you're like, wow, that was an amazing sales experience, and then I bought a product and it was even better than what I thought it was going to be. And this is where I talk about this pursuit of world class.
Mm-hmm.
The pursuit of world class
Mm-hmm.
is that the promise keepers provide a better service than the promise makers. And so if you can do that, you've built something really special. But if you can't, then I want you to pursue doing it.
Otherwise,
So
you're just surviving, John, right?
exactly. Or you know what? You're just selling something for the sake of selling it. I don't
Mm.
want to sell something for the sake of selling it. I want to solve problems. I want to help people who become my customer. I really care
And
about that.
build something to last, right?
Yep.
The other day in this podcast, I interviewed one multimillionaire, and he told me, Harry, don't build the unicorn, build a camel. I said, wow,
Uh-huh.
this is very profound what you just described. You say, build something that, that can be days and days with no water, that can last forever, that forget about the unicorn. You build the camel and you will be fine. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but John, but people think, okay, maybe we're crazy what we're talking about. But we see Amazon, for example, right? All in the .com. This is my what I think. But what actually the success of the whole company is because they decided that okay, we're gonna put a lot of time, effort, and energy in that customer experience. We're gonna make sure that if the client doesn't like the product, they can send it back. And we're trying to remove all this friction. And probably we don't remember, but probably was a friend who told us about Amazon. That we didn't find Amazon in Google. People think no, we find it in Google like everything else. No,
Mhm.
I think that you work with a friend and you say, well, I'm thinking to buy this, and your friend will tell you, look, man, go to this Amazon thing. It's amazing. It's just a few clicks. It will come to your house. You don't like it, you send it back. This and that, right? So uh, uh, so the model actually works in terms of customer experience. Um, and we have lawyers that have come to this podcast also that they told me, Harry, my only marketing strategy is referral. I'm thinking, wow, you guys are amazing lawyers. You have,
Yeah.
you have all your clients happy because if your only marketing and sales strategy for you to have clients for life on the last 20 years is referrals. You delivering
Yeah.
a customer experience that I'm very impressed. We obviously we're not recommending that, but you should have another strategy to bring clients.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed with those lawyers. Say, man, you are amazing on what you do because how can you only with that uh,
But
you can keep
generally
the
in
flow.
those,
Yeah.
but generally in those scenarios, you'll get as large as founder-led sales.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the reason why is because, your referrals only bring so much business in a year. So if you want to get to 1 million, and then if you're at 1 million, you want to get to 5 million. Then if you're at 5 million, you want to
Hmm.
get to 10 million. You have to go beyond the founder. And so you have to build a sales and marketing
100%.
infrastructure that is high impact and gets you the results you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly, John, because they think to me that this business model not sustainable is not sustainable because they depending on the client, right? They don't have that
Yep.
client for referral, they go out of business a little bit risky. But then I want to go because I read in your bio from 30,000 to how much you grow that company?
To about 40 million, just under 40 million.
Wow. So this is my question. I have a few questions about this
Yeah.
because John, the we always ask people from how to make the first million from 0 to 1. But if you go from 0 to 1 million, after you reach 1 million, now you need to forget on learn everything you know, and you need to learn again, because from 0 to 1 is
Yeah.
completely different from 1 to 10, because from 0 to 1 you depend on the client. You don't have a client, you have a business. But when you are from 1 million to 10 million, you have product market fit. People are buying your product, and you don't depend on the client. You know how to get the client. Just
Yeah.
it's about leadership, system, procedures. And now you need to go from 0 to 1, 1 to 10, and then
Yeah.
even another loop, which is 10 to 100,000. That's in the range. So you have to forget about everything you know, and learn again
Yeah.
how to go from 10 million to 100 million. So how was this process of
So,
learning and unlearning from you, which is a quite tough one, and it's actually very rare. The ideal scenario, what we recommend to the people is,
yeah.
look, if you're good at 0 to 1, man, just do that 0 to 1, and 1 to 10. Try to bring another person, bring a mentor, bring a coach, hire a C-suite that have experience, because it's gonna become. Uh,
Yeah.
Totally challenging. Maybe people don't like it. Some people like 0 to 1, but then when they
Uh-huh.
go to 1 to 10, they get bored. Yeah, and
It's
or they don't perform. So tell us about this journey. What is your favorite phase? 0 to 1 or 1 to 10, and how was this 10 to 100,000? How was the transformation process?
so,
Were you bored, or you didn't like it when things change? Or tell us a little bit more.
so there are four types of CEOs. There's the startup CEO.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Startup CEO is generally 0 to about 20 to 25 employees. At this stage, it's a little bit more than 1 million. It might be up to 3 million, but
Mm-hmm.
you know everybody and you're
There you
really in
go.
charge of doing everything. Then the next stage is typically 25 to, let's just say, 100 employees. And I'll call this the growth CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're at the point where you're building your next layer of leadership. And so it's no longer the CEO who's doing everything. It's that you formed a leadership team, and there's a head of sales and marketing, there's a head of delivering for your customers, and there's a head of your back office, and there's a head of R&D, and you have this layer of leadership. And one of the challenges are that you have to learn to let go, and that you got to trust other people to do their
Absolutely.
job. Then from there, to go from, let's just say, 100 to 250, you're now forming a leadership team under your leadership team. And the systems you have to put in place are very different. It's becoming more of an ecosystem, meaning, the sales team's technology is talking to the client service team's technology, which is talking to the back office, and it all is integrated together. But the mature CEO is typically starts around 250. So that growth CEO starts at 25. It probably goes to 250, but there's a couple different phases in there. And the mature CEO is really when you become a strategic CEO. So you're not involved in the nitty gritty anymore. You're not involved in the operations. You're really driving the strategy, and you're counting on your leaders to get stuff done.
Hmm.
And I would say that I got bored at that stage. I probably like being the growth CEO. I like getting in the weeds and solving problems. And when I got to the strategic CEO, they didn't want me to solve problems anymore. They're like, you're
Hmm.
trying to do my job.
Hmm.
And so, and then the final stage is when you get into like thousands of employees. So
Hmm.
mature is like 250 to 1,000 employees. And then you're getting into mega. And then
Hmm.
it's really like, you're publicly traded, or you're really involved in, being more of a figurehead than anything else. Um, and I've never been at the mega stage. So I was on the cusp
You
between
have done
growth
well, trust
and
me.
return. What?
You have done amazing so far. Yeah, don't worry
Oh,
about
thank you.
it.
So
So, John, let it go. I'm gonna share a history story with you because the when I started my first business here in this process from 0 to 1 at the beginning, I am the CEO, like, first I beat this persona with that ego that I'm the big boss.
Yeah.
Everybody had to do what I say, you see. And then I remember I have 177 tenants and the team in the office, no, not that many. But then everybody wants to talk to me. I was this guy
Yeah.
running everything, and I was exhausted. I was tired, and and I said, "This." I'm thinking at home, these people are gonna kill me, right? All the tenants want to
Yep.
speak with me because if they want to bring a friend or the family comes over, they knew that there was someone that called Harry that can tell them yes, and they don't care. They can wait until 5 a.m. when I'm free to call me,
Yeah.
or 3 a.m. It doesn't matter. That if they don't have to let me sleep, that's okay with them because they want something, right?
Yeah.
They want an authorization from me. And the same time, the team, they coming, Harry, they have this problem, how to fix it, and I decided out of survival. I'm thinking, if I don't let this go, these people are gonna kill me. So let's do something different out of
Yep.
preservation. Let's empower them. And I remember when I took one girl in the office, one of the managers, her name was Eva. I said, Eva, look, from now on you are Harry. And she's like, what? Yes, you are Harry from now on. So everybody want to talk to me, they will talk to you, and whatever you decide, it's fine. You don't even have to tell me.
Yeah.
And then well, and then to the team, I put a sign behind my desk. Look, if you come in with a problem, bring 2 or 3 solutions. You pick your favorite. We try. If it works, work. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Guess what happened, John? One day I
Yeah.
arrived to the office, and the Eva told me, Harry, go home. We don't need you here. I'm like, what? Who's gonna buy the paper for the photocopy? And they're telling me, we can get our own paper for the photocopy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Go home, travel the world, don't come here. You have nothing to do. You're talking too much. You don't let us work. We can expand the company. And so it's amazing when you develop leadership, right? And you let that go, something that
Yeah.
that you just described. I resonate with that a lot because that actually saved my life. Literally, and opened a new possibilities for me. It was not that literally Eva was running the company, and then she got um, to she took a problem to me, only one problem to solve, right? After that, I'm at
Yeah.
home, and every month she comes to talk to me and said, the company is good, we're expanding, this is this. And she was telling me, I need more single rooms. And I'm thinking, well, of course you need more single rooms, Eva, because, all the houses are designing for one single
Yeah.
room and 2 or 3 doubles and a living room. And the single room is the cheapest one. So, of course, uh, there is more demand for single rooms, and you need more single rooms. There is nothing I can do about it. Next month she comes, Harry, I need more single rooms. And so I'm left only with this problem. The rest, she
Yeah.
was solving everything. And guess what happened? One day when she comes, because that was my only problem to Salvatore, Eva, you know what? Why if I divide the biggest room in half? That will work for you. Then you're going to have a single room. And that
Yeah.
decision also make us, I think, around $2 million
Yeah.
with the same stock, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So the point of the story, John, is when you let that go, when you surrender, when you start to unlearn, it's not that you're not working in that business, but you went to a different phase because you have an empowering team. So what was your experience? Because I understand what you said, okay, let go. There is from 0 to 1, and then when you go from 1 to 10, you have to let go, but you have that ego that we all have ego. That's why we are entrepreneurs. We think that we can do better otherwise. So how you surrender, how you let that go, how this process work for you?
So when we were about 17 employees at Rise, my last company, we were having a difficult time with an employee.
That's a lot, John.
Yeah.
70. That's a
No,
lot.
17. But we
17.
grew
It's
to
a
about
lot still.
200. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we grew to about 250. So to me,
Mm.
that was still very small.
Okay.
Um, and
What happened?
we're having a difficult time with an employee, and he reported into an account manager. That account manager eventually became the CEO of the company after I left. But at that time, he was an
Wow.
account manager. And he came to the office and he wanted to talk about this employee. And I said, well, I made your life easier. I fired the person this morning, so you don't have to worry about it. And this account manager came to me and he's like, John, if you make every decision for me, I will never earn the respect of the team. And it was a moment, it was a learning moment for me where I transitioned at that moment in time from a startup CEO to a growth CEO.
Wow, very
And I
powerful.
started to empower my team to make their own decisions. And today's company, Fiscal Advocate, Ramsey Innovation is technically the holding company name, but we go by Fiscal Advocate in terms of how we run it. We're about 25 employees, and with the exception of sales and marketing, I have leaders in every position of the company. So I have someone who runs our operations, I have someone who runs our technology, I have someone that runs client service. I'm still heavily involved in every single area and providing guidance and mentorship. But I empower the team to make a lot of decisions and do a lot of things of their own. They get to pick their own team. They get to they do their own performance reviews. It's really I don't want it to be the Jon Morris show. I want it to be a team. And
Exactly. But then, John,
yep,
here's the thing. A lot of people from network marketing company, they always tell me, Harry, I need more leads in my organization. I said, look, in order for you to to attract more leaders to your organization, you have to become a leader yourself. There is no other way of you to attract
yeah,
leaders to your organization if you don't become a leader yourself, because leaders attract leaders. And
yeah,
but then, John, you didn't sign up for this. You sign up for to have a product, to sell it, to make some sales, and this is how you this is what you were doing, and now you are in a position that now you have 17 employees. Now you have to become a different uh, type of
yeah,
person, a different CEO, because now you have to become a leader yourself. What's that?
yeah,
And where you gonna learn that? Who's gonna teach you to be a leader? And and then develop in leadership into the organization. Not only become a leader yourself, then those leaders that they are on your team, they have to have the same set of values that you have and the vision for the company. So the whole machine works. And I want to ask you something, because sometimes hiding the people, someone make a mistake down the line and a shot or whatever, that they want the employee to they hire by skills, no, and they don't check that much if the culture or that employee match the culture of the company, and then you bring that person in, and it's a nightmare, it's a headache. I think that your colleague need to find this employee. Probably, he's find another job in another place, and he's very happy, because in that place his culture align with the culture, but somehow didn't align with yours, and that's why
yeah.
you don't have that fit, right? So tell us a little bit more how you become a leader and how you develop in leadership in the organization, something that you didn't sign up, because you sign up just to sell your product, to make money, and to grow the company. Nobody told you
Yeah.
anything about leadership, right?
Yeah. Look, I'm a constant learner. I read two books at a time. So I listen to a book and I read a book at the same time. And I actually went through a series of reading all of what I consider some of the greatest leaders of the 20th and 21st century, and mainly in the tech space. So I read about Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and there's a few trends that you find in all these leaders. But going back to culture, I'm a big believer in what I consider a performance-based culture. And, you know, a lot of times when people hear the word
Me
culture,
too.
they,
Me too.
yeah,
That's amazing
but
way of seeing it. Very good.
yeah. And, a lot of times when people hear the word culture, they think it means like happy hours and fun things. And,
Yeah. And let's
culture
go
is
out for
like,
a drink.
Exactly. And culture is really about the DNA of what you want your business to be. And, what I want, what I find fun is being on a winning team. And I'll just give you an example. Um, my daughter, my middle daughter, um, is a soccer player, and she wants to play, in college and at a really high level. And today, before she goes to practice, we're doing sprints together. Now, I promise you that that is not fun. You know, no one has ever said, like, I can't wait to do sprints. But, it might not be fun, but the reward
Mhm,
is her elevation in the game,
mhm,
and her moving to higher level teams and playing at higher level levels.
mhm,
And so to me, that's kind of the same thing as the culture of your business. Business is a team sport,
mhm.
right? Now, the only difference is the season never ends, right? Where it goes on and on and on. But, if you think about like January 1 to December 31st is, a year,
Mhm,
you got to decide, how did I do this year? Did the company grow? Did our profits grow? Did our product get better? And if
mhm.
you have that mindset, like, we're going to create something amazing, I mean, let's be honest. I sell financial management services. It's like bookkeeping and AR and AP and payroll and closing
Wow,
the book.
sounds boring. How can you make that
Yeah.
attractive?
Yeah. But then we also do budgeting and forecasting and cash flow analysis and monthly insights. But it's not like someone walks away and being like, that is the coolest company ever, you know? But when you start saying, how do we take this boring company
Mhm.
and make it better than any company else that does the exact same thing, and take pride of, what? Yeah, invoicing might sound boring, but we're going to make it better where we can
I'm
handle
fun.
more complex invoices. We can have less error rates. We can get more out at at a period of time. I mean, those are the things that I personally find exciting. Like, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll see one of the things I talk about is I'm awesome at boring. I think being awesome at boring is a really
Oh,
good
that's
thing.
amazing. Sounds
You
amazing.
know?
I love it. So then, John, we always one of the things that we like to share here is that entrepreneurship is skill. The more you practice, the better you become. Right? This is not like a talent based. Like, if somebody have a
Yeah.
somebody's a singer. Okay, that's have a talent to sing or things like that. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's all about um practice. The more you practice, the better you become. And nobody have born being leadership is practicing. Always remember when we in our company we start leader by leader to
Yeah.
empower the leaders, and it was a learning process. But you practice leadership, and eventually you become a great leader. It can take you longer or shorter, but it's a skill base. So um, the um, but with the great leadership, the company can perform amazing. Regarding to with culture, I one thing that we do in
Mhm.
our organization, which is you're talking about performance, yeah, and as a
Yeah.
culture, we have in the culture of our companies always is like a 360. We work our team, so we have very little employees, not too many, but they
Yeah.
are like a 360. They are prepared for anything, right? I'm thinking that in the last 18 years that I've been in business, none of my employees never told me, Harry, this is not my job, right? Because since we bring them, we say, hey, this is the culture of this company. We are very little, and whatever comes, we need to figure it out. Sometimes will be allocated to you, but if you don't know how to do it, don't worry. We look in Google, you learn how to do it. We give you space for you to learn it. But we have few employees, and this is how we operate in this company. And some of the employees love it and been there for so many years with us,
Yeah.
but some people just go there and and it doesn't fit. It just they're no bad people. They're no. It just does don't fit that the way that we operate. They prefer to have like specific role, and this is his job, and something goes out of this, it's not gonna be the job. So how you deal when somebody, especially when you have a lot of employees, more than 17, someone will make a mistake down the line and will bring by accident employees and team members that they are, doesn't fit with the culture that you have, like performance, right? And now you have a problem because few of these people around in a big organization can actually decrease the productivity for the whole team. So how you deal with this issue, and any tips that you have for CEOs in the growth space, how to deal with that, right? How to deal
Yep.
with employees that they you cannot tell them anything because they have an amazing skill set and they know how to do the job very good. Yet the culture doesn't align with the culture of the company, and now you have a problem
Get
there.
get rid of them. So, you know, the reality is that one of the
As soon as
hardest,
you identify them, John, right?
yeah. So
Because sometimes takes time to identify them, right?
exactly. But the second, the challenge is that once somebody is no longer aligned with the leadership team, you know, and so we would spend a lot of time at Rise where it'd be like, okay, this is my point of view. And then I would go to the next layer and I was like, all these people agree with where we're headed. And then I go to the next layer and I'd be like, this person here does not agree with where we're headed. And we're not going to be able to change their mind. That what happens is they become a cancer within the organization and they start spreading. They get other people to no longer be aligned. And so the goal is that you need to,
That's bad.
yeah, you need to get rid
It's
of
like
those
a
people as
cancer,
fast as
exactly.
possible.
Yeah. In my case, John, I'm trying to always, I feel responsible that, these people, somehow somebody made a mistake and respond, the CEO are responsible for everything. And I've been trying to change this person. I've been trying to spend time. I've been trying to train them. I've been trying to, but most of the time it doesn't work. And I had to let
Yeah.
them go. Most of the time,
It's just
it
not
doesn't,
worth it.
yeah, I
It's
try to save it, thinking, well, I'm
Mhm.
responsible, but it's just that it's the way we are completely different, and we're not saying that this person is a bad employee or a bad leader or a bad thing. It just doesn't fit, right?
Yep.
And but so any message that you can share with HR or HR team members, right? That they are hiring people in
So
company that they're in the growth process, and all that they have is to find the person that have the best skill set to do the job, and nobody's checking on culture, nobody's checking in if this person will be aligned with the culture. And then without knowing, you bring a
yeah.
big problem to the organization. And what can you do to, because culture, even in a job interview, if
Yeah.
you, because I remember, if it's me who interviewing the person, I can identify, I know the way I am, I know the way the company is, the culture that is there, and I kind of identify with some questions if the person is going to be fit or not. No, now, but so many
Yeah.
years in business now, I can tell. But most of the time, it's not you doing the hiring, somebody else. And this person, how you show them our culture, how you show them how to bring the people with the right culture. This is more difficult. Any tips?
Yeah. So the first one is, okay, first of all, hiring is really difficult. You will not know if somebody is good until you
Hmm.
start working with them.
Yes,
Okay. So
that I agree with you, John.
yeah, you might try to reduce your risk as much as possible, but
Until it's not 3 months,
yeah,
3 months, I think, is no when
yeah,
after 3 months, John, is when we really know what we got, right?
exactly. Now, when you have a manager, the first thing is you have to understand that a manager's job is to put a world-class team underneath them. And you have to hold that manager accountable to that
Mm-hmm.
team.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I always like when I talk to someone about their management team and their capabilities is I'll ask them to grade all their direct reports. Okay, you have 5 direct reports, and you know, on an A to F scale, is this person an A player, a B player, a C player, a D player? And I'll get like A, B, A, C. Let's just say that those are the 5 grades. Okay, so I'll start with the C player, and I was like, why are they still on your team? And I've only once gotten a good answer out of that question. But 90% of the time, it's just the manager's not accountable to the quality of their team. So I believe that, if you have someone who's a direct report and that person is a cancer within the company or they're not doing a good job, that manager is accountable just as much as that individual. So they have to understand that nothing is more important than your direct report, and the manager needs to clean up and improve those 5 people. Now, the B player, I have a different question. Can you turn that B player into an A player in 60 days or less? And what will it take?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, then I want you to get rid of that B player. If
Mm-hmm.
the answer is yes, then I want to see what your 60-day plan is to turn them into an A player. But you're holding the managers accountable
Mm-hmm.
to the quality of their team. I believe that dumb should flow up in an organization. If I'm doing my job really well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the dumbest person in the company. And the second dumbest person in the company should be the people who report into me.
Mm-hmm.
And if everyone's direct reports is smarter than their boss, you're going to build something special.
Wow. That's really powerful. John, these broadcasts have been really interesting. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
amazing. So, John, tell us if someone wants to know more about you,
Yep.
how to find you, how this process work, how they can contact you on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Can you just share how this process work and tell us how can you help people with?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to follow me on LinkedIn. I post 3 times a week. I never miss a week at a minimum.
Wow.
So Jon Morris at LinkedIn, no H, so Jon. You can follow me at fiscaladvocate.com. We have a resource section where we blog regularly. We post all the podcasts I've been on. This podcast will be going up on there.
Mhm.
Um,
Thank
and
you.
then the and then the third one is you can email me at jon@fiscaladvocate.com.
So, John, I saw here that you're also working in a tech company. Is that correct?
So, well, Fiscal Advocate is a tech company. So
Mm-hmm.
we help service-based companies, and we are a service provider, but we also built budgeting and forecasting software. So Engine
Mm-hmm.
BI is that software.
Mm-hmm.
And then next month we are launching a new product called
Mm-hmm.
Luca, which
Mm-hmm.
is a AI CFO. So think of
Oh,
it as like
wow.
Chat GPT, but specifically geared to answer any of your business finance related questions.
One out of the 500 millionaires that we interview in this broadcast, 1 out of 5 is a tech entrepreneur. Any why do you think that this is the statistic for this podcast? Is it easy to become wealthy in tech,
I mean,
or why?
I think it's challenging and hard, but I think it's also very scalable. So if you can,
Mm-hmm.
if you can build something, there's no incremental cost to adding a customer. And so that's a big deal.
And
Um,
can get monthly revenue, exactly what you described at the beginning of
exactly.
your podcast. Yeah.
Yep.
You can build something powerful. Yes. Thank you so much, John. Just want to ask you this because we have a lot of tech entrepreneurs that
Yep.
listen the podcast, and out of the tech pros, we can have another podcast because we talk a lot about this here, and yeah, tech to get pro market fit is challenging, but once you get there, it's a great vehicle to become wealthy. Like I said, 1 out of 5 multimillionaires that comes to this podcast, they are either tech entrepreneurs or property investors. So those vehicles should be good ones in order to become wealthy. However, they have a huge, especially tech, is my understanding that it's a huge failing rate if you don't know what you're doing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But you build this solid and you build the camel. I'm the impression, John, that you build in a camel there in the text. So you're gonna be fine. So thank you so much for the
Thank
broadcast.
you, Harry. This was fabulous.
Thank you. You're amazing also. Thank you so much. So for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneur like John break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.